Hello and welcome to Season 2, Episode 4 of 5 Cities, the Garblag Games D&D 5e show. I'm Pete, the DM. Tonight you may be able to hear that my voice is a little bit more gravelly, a bit smooth, but as John likes to point out. But we'll carry on anyway. I'll soldier on. Apologies if I cough from time to time. I'll try and edit that out. Anyway, as I said, I'm Pete, the DM.
I'm Jim. I'm playing Cormick.
I'm John. I'm playing Saint.
I'm Roger. I'm playing Aurelian.
Sam, Lena.
I'm Simon, and I'm playing Poot.
Excellent.
No way, he did it properly.
Yeah, what's going on?
Yeah.
And
What's
I'm
wrong with
Poot
you?
because I'm in character.
Are you sick? What's going on? Nice
No,
table,
that's
by the way.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Table
nicely
was
done.
awesome.
It's very solid.
Yeah, if you check out on our Facebook page, Simon has built us a bespoke table for the Garblag Games room. You can't see it right now, but there is a nice photo on the Facebook page. If you
Check out
Check
his
that
wood.
out. Yes. Great wood, Simon. Great wood.
Man knows how to handle wood.
He does indeed. He's a wood handler. Anyway. Last time on 5 Cities, our heroes journeyed back to, after a brief encounter with some flame on Saint's part, and getting rid of the goo that they had extruded from a golem that they had slain, Aurelian had killed, with the Shard of War. They had journeyed back with Soren to Ondsmouth after doing a few experiments with the goo. They saw that it was attracted to Tillium and didn't like the blue orbs. In fact, didn't like it so much that it let out a bit of a psychic scream that damaged everyone's brains to a certain extent.
So we're now all brain damaged. Great.
The magical healing is a wonderful thing.
Yay!
So you all journeyed back to Ondsmouth, to Soren's tower in the Broodburn Castle. And after a night's and day's rest, I believe, you went to meet Andreas Broodburn, the Prima, the head of the house, and a discussion and a report in on what had happened. It was at this time that a runner came to tell them that Soren had been found dead in his chamber after trying to communicate with the Magi at the other end of the ley line at Leron's Pit, which is where the party and Andreas Broodburn believe the corruption in this area is originating from, as the ley line itself, they saw through the mirror, was corrupted with a black, twisting, inky thread. Andreas Broodburn has now charged the party with heading to Leron's Pit with Tarn Broodburn, captain of the guard, and a detachment of soldiers, which is 50 men. And the party have spent some time doing a bit of shopping. Poot has hired a collection of first-level adventurers to go and sit on Greenrise, which, if you remember from Season 1, go back and check it out on the playlist, was where some of the original corruption and the Risen were found. Yes. Everyone had picked up some provisions. Cormick had bought some fine herbs. Roger had done a few things. Aurelian. Yes, well done. Aurelian. And some Tillium equipment had been distributed amongst the party from the Broodburn Armory. I think most of it being piled on Lena.
I don't want it.
But there were some swords and some armour that would help you in your quest.
I got a sweet knack for all of that as well.
You didn't want anything.
Oh, I did want stuff.
Neither did I. Hey, well,
I didn't want to tell him stuff.
why on
I don't
earth
think
would you
Saint
not
wants
want
Tillium
Tillium
because it
stuff?
might attract golems. Which is a wise idea.
Wise choice.
Yes. But there were a few other things, some magical items. I think there was a ring of protection, which
got
had
a
been
ring of
enchanted
2
by
rings
a
of
Magi.
Yeah.
And this had prompted Aurelian to become interested in the process of enchantment, and he and some of the party, who we'll figure out in a moment, were heading off to meet Thorgrin Highbeard, the Grand High Priest of Usion, who resides at the Radiant Cascade, which is the central centre of the Usion Faith in the Kingdom of Five, and where all big ceremonies are done, including the recoronation of the king every 10 years. However, this year, as we know, that will be taking place at Leron's Pit, with the opening of the pit, or so they believe. So, we shall return to our story as Aurelian and Poot and anybody else who wishes to go with them.
I was thinking, the reason that I got tangled up with this in the first place is because I was in Ondsmouth. And the reason that I was in Ondsmouth in the first place is because my father sent me to go and get some decent horses for our camp.
Yes.
I have come across some money, and he kind of gave me some instructions. So possibly I might do that and hope that I can get some people. There's probably someone around that I can get them sent. And then I've at least kind of done that. And then if I die, then at least I did what he asked me to.
Okay, that's fine. You arrange for some horses to be taken safely to your father's camp, off in the strike.
Yeah, it's that way.
It's that way.
It's the wrong way.
It's the way towards the bad stuff.
It's like here's us, and here's the bad stuff, and my place is over here somewhere, past where all of the stuff is that we
Do you think anyone's going to be left?
Yes.
Not that I'm being like it.
Everyone will be fine.
Everyone will be fine.
Yeah, because it's further. It's past where all the bad stuff is. It's further north. It's fine.
It's like the Shire in the Lord of the Rings movies. It's fine.
Yep.
Nothing happens.
Yeah. No.
Yeah. Cozy.
Wasn't there a big scourge?
Never happened in the movies.
That means it doesn't count.
Yes. Okay, so you arrange for that to happen, and that is that some horses are taken to your father. It'll take them some days to get there.
Yep.
But they head off.
I'd like to split the party even more and go and find some Air Magi people just to speak to go, I can do magic now, I don't know why.
Okay.
Just for character building stuff, not necessarily looking for anything.
Sure.
So the Aeromancer's on the...
So the Aeromancer carriage.
That'll do.
There are Air Magi there. That's the one place, apart from Soren, who is now dead.
Or is he?
That sucks.
Or
Yeah.
could
is
his
he?
head exploded.
Really had his head blown off.
Yeah, you can get resurrected.
We can rebuild him.
Bigger, better, faster, stronger.
With a golem head. No.
Really out of proportion.
Yeah.
He keeps going.
Yeah, one of those little photo pop things.
So I will.
Give me a 500 gold diamond.
So you head off to there. Aurelian and Poot, you're going to the Radiant Cascade. You're
If I've
dealing with
finished-
horses. It takes you a little
either way,
while
that's fine.
bartering.
Yeah.
Saint, what are you doing?
I was shopping for alchemy supplies. That's what I was doing.
Okay.
I swear you were going to say
You
alcohol.
find a very fine, robust, and lightweight set of alchemy gear
Back to the bag.
to travel. to take with
Huge
you on your travels.
knapsack I've got on.
Okay, right. Radiant Cascade. So, the Radiant Cascade is a cloistered area of reaching structures and spires with a hexagonal building, the High Cathedral, at its heart. The grounds around the cathedral host ceremonies and mass prayers to Usion, and at the moment there are lots of people in prayer. It's the morning, the sun is coming to the zenith, so people are praying to the Lord of the Sun. There's fine cut marble floors, amazing topiary, nicely trimmed, kept very clean and connected by a series of elaborate water features. There are statues depicting Usion all over the place. And he is a tall, proud, Nolosi figure of a human, figure of a man, often standing with a sword or a hammer in different poses. There are a few murals of Usion battling Attilam, and this is often where people are gathered around to pray to Usion. And you make your way towards the main entrance, and priests are moving around giving out prayers to people, the common folk. You can see one giving out alms to some poor people. And as you approach, a sort of middle-aged man with sort of greying hair with a pleasant smile comes over. Ah, hello, greeting, travellers. How may I help you?
Do I recognise him?
No, there's a lot of priests in the service.
Okay. Greetings. My name is Aurelian. I am a
Hello.
cleric of Usion. As you can probably tell.
I am
from my
Tobias.
health.
I'm Poot.
Pleasant to meet you.
Very nice to meet you.
I would like to see His Eminence, please.
Oh, very well.
Do you have an appointment?
I would. Are you expected by His Eminence?
No, I've only recently returned from the north.
And may I ask what this would be concerning at all, please? I would like to just knock on his door and say someone's here to see you.
Regarding the situation with the golems.
I beg your pardon?
Does he know that? Are we allowed to tell him that?
I beg your pardon?
You might have to come with us. I think you should just come with us now. We should just go now, knock on his door. You'll have to come with us.
I'm sorry, I
You
can't
should
just let anyone knock
Told
on.
him that. You'll have to go.
Eminence's
You'll have to
door.
come with us.
Do you have any official papers or documents?
Oh, official stuff.
Suggest-
Hey,
Okay, fine.
get out my seal.
You've got your seal from Brookburn.
You get my Brookburn seal. Yeah, the big guy gave me this.
Ah.
Said we should go talk to dude. Yeah.
Okay.
You have to come with us because
I will definitely come with you.
you're
I
not
wouldn't
allowed to know
want
that kind of
to
stuff.
just let you, get lost somewhere in the building.
Okay.
Very well. Make a persuasion roll.
Me?
Yes.
No
You're
food.
doing the.
Oh! Okay, let's roll some dice. Hey,
Not bad.
Not bad. If I roll 15,
Yeah.
I definitely get at least a -1.
Okay. And you don't have persuasion.
I definitely don't have persuasion.
Okay. Very well. Very well. I will. And you can see you're all dressed in official Usion priestly robes. You've got your holy symbol. You guys look like you've seen some action. You've got the symbol of Brookburn. He's kind of swayed by this, and he nods and makes a decision. Yes. Okay. Very well. I will take you to see His Eminence. I believe he is in silent contemplation. Follow me. And he goes into a vaulted chamber inside this cathedral. Huge, reaching up to stained glass windows, large marble carvings, tapestries hanging down, depicting the battle of the Prima and Usion against Attilam and the Golems. Sort of decorated all around. It's kind of very military glory almost behind this faith. And you make your way in, and there's a large altar at the far end, and lots of people moving around, pews everywhere, people praying, sitting praying, small groups praying together. There's a chap up on a pulpit who's talking to a nearby group of people. It seems like there's multiple, it's not just one big, preach to everyone in the room. There's lots of small things going on. And with the standard layout of 6 doorways around the outside, but these are large, grand doors, metal bound, fine carving. It's really an exquisite building. There's lush carpets on the floor, and you can see a font over in the far corner. And he leads you towards one of the doorways in the far right, and he pulls a key from his pouch and unlocks it and says, "Please follow me." And takes you into a stairwell. And you go up some stairs, and he's sort of in his late 40s, maybe early 50s, so he's a little bit slow. He's a priest. He doesn't maybe do lots of exercise, so going up and down the stairs is probably the most he does.
Yoga.
And he's kind of rooftop yoga beneath the sunshine of Usion.
It's actually
Usion
a
parkour.
secret monk organisation.
Well, maybe.
Damn, they rumble us.
Yeah, he's got the nunchucks.
It leads you up to a landing chamber where there are sort of chairs dotted around. Nothing overly fancy here. It seems to be some sort of waiting antechamber. And there is what looks like a clerk sitting behind a desk with reams of paper and a big quill and ink pots, and he's kind of shuffling around and writing things. And Tobias walks over and says, we have some important guests to see His Eminence. And the clerk looks up and kind of eyes you, looks at you and sort of has a look of, okay, and then looks at you and goes, And Tobias goes, don't worry, I think this is important. They've come from the Broodburns. Very well. And he pulls on a cord to the side. And very faintly in the distance you hear like a ringing of a bell. And Tobias kind of stands there, turns around, puts his hands in his kind of robes and sort of smiles at you as if, yes, we're just waiting now. And after a while, the door on the far side of the room opens and two Kulden in plate mail armour step out. They are full militant paladins of the Faith of Usion. They've got shield on their back, they've got sword at their belt, they've got plate mail armour with big holy symbol of the anvil and the sun in the chest.
I'll give them a nod of respect.
And they kind of look at you like,
And they
I
escort
shall
you out.
follow us.
I shall use my nerve to not step back.
Okay.
or like hide in some rafters
Yeah.
somewhere.
I'm used to this, so I'm just going to follow.
Follow us. And he takes you into the corridor. And along it's not a very long corridor, through to another doorway.
Is there armatillium?
No.
As you said, plate mail was quite rare.
In this lighting, you can't really tell. There's quite a lot of embossing on it and sort of leather inlaid into the metal. So you can't. It's hard for you to tell unless you sort of get a bit closer and try to take a peek.
Can I see if I can perceive it from where I am?
Make a roll.
Probably.
That metal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Appropriate.
23.
Okay, you think you can see slight flecks of red in the steel.
Is he
And
coming
it's
with
not
us?
full plate armour, it's kind of plate. No,
Half plate.
Tobias is like,
Oh,
he's
There
like,
he is.
I like
He's standing there going like, yep, hands in
Yeah,
my
see
sleeves.
ya.
Yep.
like half plate, I think.
yeah, that kind of thing, yeah. And they lead you down the corridor, open some doors, and they walk across a hallway which has lots of doors off of it, but they seem to go straight across and point you to a chamber which has got a large window at the back, and there is an anvil in one side of the room. Doesn't seem like it's actually an operational anvil, and there is a dwarf standing next to it with a ridiculously long beard that's all plaited and got rings and metal tied into it, and he is standing there with a hammer in his hand, just banging the anvil, dum, dum, with his eyes closed, dum, 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 and they kind of look at you like,
After you.
yes.
Alright, I will step into the room.
You step into the room, and almost immediately he stops banging the hammer on the anvil, and he turns around. You can see now he doesn't look very old, but you know that this person has been alive for nearly 1,000 years. And he stares at you with eyes full of wisdom, and they seem to pierce into your very soul. You don't really feel that as much.
No,
But for you,
I'm
this is
just
the
like-
leader of your faith.
Oh, I've met
And
him
he's-
before.
You have met him before, but every time he looks at you, you feel like he's looking deep inside you.
Judging.
Not judging, but maybe trying to find Usion within you.
I'm going to do that thing where you shuffle your foot to try and find a squeaky floorboard just to break the moment.
Okay. There's a
It's like a
slight,
stone floor or something, isn't it?
Yeah, marvel.
there's a slight squeak across the threshold of the doorway, which is wooden. Greetings.
Greetings, Your Eminence.
How may I
Hey.
assist you? I understand that you are here from Andreas Broodburn, and you're discussing something of import.
We are. We have recently returned from the north, where, as I told you before, where we were going, we encountered a golem.
Indeed.
And it was destroyed. We destroyed it after we uncovered the
How?
Shard of War.
The Shard of War.
Yes.
Yeah, we shot it with a big red crystal. Well, actually, Aurelian shot it with a big red crystal.
I have it with me. Permission? I'm gonna look. So
Very
I want
well.
to start reaching into my bag in case he thinks I'm pulling a weapon.
Yeah,
Well, technically.
he's not
Well,
worried.
kind of.
Like,
Everyone else who shoots that gets him to the
And I'll basically pick it up
Okay.
out of the bag.
he steps forward and he says, "It is Aurelian, is it not?"
It is, Your Eminence.
Yes. You have been blessed, my son, with this gift from Usion. This is one of the most holy relics of our order, lost for centuries, forged by Talfor Palpian himself, one of the Prima, long gone.
Usion guided me to this.
And you withstood its touch. I understand that it uses the vitae of whoever holds it in order to power the crystal itself.
It did. The acolytes that wielded it before me were consumed by its holy fire.
You have done well. You have a strong faith, I can see, and Usion has rewarded you.
Thank you, Your Eminence.
Thank you for bringing this to me.
I believe with this we can establish a forge here to rival that of Blackbridge.
Indeed, this is potentially something, although named the Shard of War, could help retain peace.
However, it could come in very useful in what's potentially to come.
On what is to come.
There are great troubles in the north. I don't believe that golem was alone.
I agree with you. I have been praying to our Lord, and he has shown me a bloodshot eye behind a crack
Of ice,
of ice. You have seen the same thing.
I have.
I believe this is the eye of Tillum, and that he is gazing out on the world from his grave.
I believe so, and I think someone's trying and reawaken him.
Or maybe some of his kin. And may foolishly accidentally bring the Titan King back himself.
I believe so.
Well, it seems you have a very dangerous future, my son.
I do, however, it is necessary. We must stop this.
Of course, you have all the blessings of the Radiant Cascade upon you and those who journey with you.
On our journeys, well, when we slew the golem, we did find a lot of Tillium.
Like loads.
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 More than I could carry.
A substantial amount.
That's not a lot. No offence.
Loads.
More than I could carry.
I'll look at him. I'll kind of.
He is quite hench.
A substantial amount,
Yes.
which will be forged into weapons to ready ourselves for the war to come.
Yes.
I have come to learn of enchanting.
Ah. Yes. I'm afraid this is not. This is the gift of the Magi. There are many in the service of Usion. I myself have never enchanted an item permanently. I may bestow Usion's radiance into something temporarily to aid myself or a comrade, but I cannot permanently create relics or artifacts. Only the Magi can do this for whatever reason Usion has chosen.
Would the Magi be willing to enchant these weapons to aid in our war?
Yes, but it takes both time and their strength. A Magi is physically, permanently weakened when they create an artifact.
I do understand I would not ask except in these most dire of circumstances.
Of course. However, maybe there is something else that we could do. There are some items that we hold here in the church that may help you. we have the Star Sword of Alder. And we have life crystals.
The blue eggs.
Yes, it's blue eggs.
Yes,
I shall fiddle with my sword
we
in that way that you do. I think.
yes, we have encountered some within the pits.
Ah, yes. Often the risen at the darkness and the light comes together. Have you fought risen?
We have.
Have you fought the mutants? Those twisted into the forms of creatures and
The ones that come from the sacks.
similar, yes. And the fallen, have you seen the fallen? Those who are not dead and turned.
The ones who have turned. There was a train.
Yes, we
For
have.
the risen are dead and turned, but the fallen are alive and turned.
We have fought both.
Well then, you are the right people for this task. You and whoever your friends are.
So, do you not think this would be the time for crafting of new weapons?
It will, but this will take months. And perhaps we have some things that we can give you, and others may be crafted while you go on your mission. For the scale of this that you're talking about and that I feel, I do not think this will be over soon.
I
feel this is
agree.
the beginning of a larger battle.
I agree, Your Eminence.
I shall get my guards to fetch these items for you.
Thank you, Your Eminence.
I now have other business to attend to, but may the blessing of Usion and of the Radiant Cascade be with you, and all the free peoples of the kingdoms of Five.
The details of artillery and weapons will be with the Bridburns, Castle Bridburn.
We might have let slip to your man out there about golems. Someone might want to
Which
have a word.
man out there?
Might want to have a word with him.
Tobias.
Oh, Tobias.
Just to
fear
make
not,
sure
he is
he-
harmless.
just-
He is
well,
a
Just to make sure he doesn't.
He should not pass this information on. I trusted him as a man of Usion.
We will ready the faith for what is coming.
There's readying the faith and there's spreading
Spreading
fear
fear.
and panic.
Do not worry. This
Oh,
is
I've got
not
plenty. I've got plenty to worry about where I'm going.
this is not my first rodeo.
With the corruption it spreads, the paladins will be particularly useful.
Yes, I
Purging
suggest
corruption.
you prepare yourself to fend off corruption as much as possible.
Aye.
Very well.
As someone that has fought them before, can you give us any advice for what is to come?
Fire, the life crystals aid against these creatures. The mutants suffer not of these magical effects, they are just to be slain. Those with the faces of twisted animals and the claws of twisted beasts.
Will the light?
Fallen are the most dangerous, for in their most corrupted form they spread corruption around them. Actively, it oozes from their body and infects people around them.
Will the blue crystals save those that are recently
Fallen
infected?
will not save the risen, they are dead. Will destroy the risen. The fallen, there is a chance that you can recover them as long as they have not been fallen for too long. How long, I cannot tell you accurately. Mutants are twisted freaks.
Yeah.
Now I must bid you farewell. My guards will bring you what we can spare.
Thank you, Your Eminence. We will ensure they are returned.
Very well. Okay. Right. Cormick, you are heading over to the Aeromancer Carriage.
Yes.
You head over to the big railway station building.
Yes.
Saint, are you going with him?
No, I'm shopping still.
Okay. Okay. And the large, impressive building with the high walls and the kind of almost stained glass windows stands before you on its raised staircases. People around it, the trade, the market, it's a bustling area. People coming on and off this place have money to spend. And you can see that there are carriages ready, being boarded. Workers are moving onto these carriages as before. And you can see groups of tired workers coming off of them and moving out into the town, into the city, sorry. As you approach, you can see guards around the area, and you can see a contingent of Great Spear soldiers coming off of one of the Aeromancer carriages. But they sort of kind of move to one side and sort of wait around. You're not sure why. At the head of one of the Aeromancer carriages, you can see that there is a group of fairly well armed and armoured individuals gathered around one central person. And as they start to move around, you can see that there is a very young teenage boy with a shaven head. In just very simple clothing. He's got like a dark blue kind of smock tunic thing. And he's just kind of waiting
For the Fire Nation to attack.
Oh, I can only think about that now. Shit. I'll go over and try and find out who he is.
As you approach, the guards come off the Aeromancer carriage and stop you. Can I help you? Says one of them.
Just like, yeah, I have to say, yes, I'm here. I've been investigating some things for Andreas Brickburn and pull out like seals and everything. And just say we've recently had some troubles with Aeromancer carriages. I'm just investigating who's coming on and off the.
Well, we're protecting Gren here.
Gren,
Yeah.
could you tell me about Gren? I don't know.
He's an indentured servant to the Great Spear family. You'll need to clear it with them. He's like pointing over at the soldiers to one side. There seems to be some sort of captain moving amongst them, checking they've got all their gear and they're all fine and ready to move on.
I'll go do that then.
Okay.
Thanks a lot.
Sure. As you approach, the captain's saying, "Right, let's get Gren, and we
Sorry,
can Gren. Let's get Gren, and we can make a move." Right, boys. And he turns around and he's sort of like, looks down at you.
Hello.
Can I help?
Yes, I'm from. I've forgotten his name again.
Andreas.
Have been helping out Andreas Brooklyn, seals and stuff. We've been having some.
The Prima.
Yeah, we've been having some problems with things going on with the problems with the Aeromancer carriages. Just a few pounds. I'm just checking up on.
Yeah, we heard about that. What was there was like a death and some people on the Golem Road and blocking it and things.
Yes, they were unwell. Let's say. We think that there's been some problems. So I'm just checking up, making sure everything's okay. Can you tell me about Gren? Because obviously I recognise your house. Can you give me a bit of information to take back to the Prima?
Gren's an indentured Magi, just recently from Zatoria.
All right. No,
Just
that was it.
is working and powering the Aeromancer carriage. Got a 10-year debt to pay off.
All right. I have a bit of Air Magi myself. Do you mind if I talk to Gren for a few minutes?
I don't mind. I'll be keeping an eye on you.
Yeah, sure.
And so will those guys protect the carriage itself, and Gren while he's on there. But yeah, feel free.
Yeah, that's perfect. Thank you.
Okay.
Head back to.
Okay.
Do they wave at the?
Yeah, they're like, yeah, fine. They do a couple of little hand signals and go over. And you can see the little boy sitting there just waiting, and he kind of looks over at you and he's like, "Can I? Hi."
It's like, hi.
You're Himlac, aren't you?
I am. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't get to meet many of the passengers or go out much. I just move the carriage around.
Just like how often do you have to do that? Like, is it all
All
that
the
you
time.
do? Like,
I do other things. I like my master's boat when he wants to go sailing. Sometimes I power the sails there. Occasionally I've called down a lightning bolt or two to clear a tree from the road, or but most of my work here is on the Aromancer carriage. I go backwards and forwards to Leron's pit regularly.
Well, that doesn't sound too much fun.
Well, my master was kind enough, he says, as almost rehearsed words,
Yeah.
was kind enough to pay for my tutelage at the 3 Stars, so I am indebted to him for 10 years.
Just like, so can I sneakily show him that I can do some air magic with like a maid?
You can do like a little cantrip thing.
You got them up.
Mini storm. Yeah, you do a little, and
Yeah.
he kind of smiles, a little bit sad smile.
I'm just like, oh, I just feel bad from now because I can only think of Avatar.
Kill them.
Just like,
Wipe them out. All of them.
how many of them are there?
There's like 10 guys walking around the kind of deck of the Aromancer carriage.
I don't know if I could. No, I don't think I would. Sorry.
Well, I'm Spartacus.
So you know how Saint wasn't with Cormick?
Yeah. Yeah.
Was she not with Cormick?
In spirit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I just wanted to carry on chatting about air magic and stuff and like his studies.
Okay.
And things like
It shows you a few things, moving things around. He says that I can do some minor teleportation. I can make a door you can walk through, things like that.
Oh, to where?
You can walk through a door there and come out over there.
Oh, I see. What's the distance for that?
Oh, like a few hundred paces.
Oh, yeah.
About that far. I think. I haven't really sort of pushed it right to the edges. I don't know.
When's the next carriage leaving? When are you heading back to?
Well, he looks over and the guards and the captain and the soldier are kind of standing there. After you've been chatting with him for sort of 5 minutes, the captain's looking a bit like, come on,
Come on.
I need to go back to the house to have my meal and sleep.
Mm-hmm.
I probably should go.
And where is that exactly?
Where's that exactly? Yeah. It's off the main promenade that heads out from the 1,000 Stores.
Would I know this?
Yeah, it's like a great spear house that most people know where the big houses are, and it's near the Store of 1,000 Trades.
Sure. And do you want to stay there, or do you want to come on a bit of an adventure?
Where? What?
Well, we're heading to Leron's pit to possibly uncover.
Well, I go there every few days.
To fight some corruption and possibly.
Sorry.
Possibly die horribly.
And possibly some even more evil that is there, and we could certainly use your help.
No, that sounds horrible. I don't want to go there. Why would I want to go there?
There's candy.
And he kind of looks over to the guy. He looks over to the captain and kind of waves a hand. Not like a hello, but he kind of waves a hand like. The captain comes over and goes, I think that's enough.
Yeah, just like
Back away from the child. Somewhere we didn't want
Bren
to
is
go.
taken away.
Yeah, I go back.
Please take the child away. Don't let him.
Bren is
don't
taken
let him.
away,
No more
and the
children.
great spear guards head off.
Yeah.
Except for one that's going to follow you around.
Where are you heading off to?
Just back to
the barracks. Okay. Saints finished shopping.
I'll go back to the barracks.
Okay. And you guys, the guards come back with a chest, and there are 6 life crystals in there.
The big ones.
They're sort of medium sized.
The same.
There is a shield, a round metal shield. It doesn't seem to have any particular adornment on it other than a green swirl through the steel on the metal.
Oh wow.
And there is a sword which looks like it has been, it's got a normal fashioned hilt and a pommel which is a gem, a red gem. The cross guard is just sort of normal steel, but the blade itself looks like it's made of some sort of meteorite metal. It looks like it's half fashioned, half not. There's a jagged nature to it, and it's a very dark grey, almost black blade.
How long
The
is
guard, it's a long sword, and the guards say to you, "This is the Star Sword. Do not lose it."
Dare I ask, what does it do? Besides cut people, or does it just cut people better?
Well, you hold this end, and
The
you
pointy
stab.
end goes in the other guy.
You stab him with that end. Maybe we should get someone else to use this sword. I'll take the sword.
Is it
I'll
enchanted?
I'll
Is it
take the sword.
enchanted? Or
Well, the legend is this sword fell from the heavens, and Alda fashioned it into a blade for Talfor Palpian to use in battle against the golems.
Okay,
I'll
I'll take the
pick it
sword.
up reverently.
You're going to take the sword. Which bit are you picking it up from? Do you know which end's
You
the
stick
right
them
end?
with the pointy end.
You stick it with the pointy end.
Okay,
I'll take the shield. I think I know some of you might like this.
very well. Well, good luck in your quest. I hear it's one that may need lots of luck and faith as well as skill. So may all those three things be with you.
Well, thank you.
Very well respect.
Okay, so you guys head back to the barracks.
Yeah.
Okay.
Feel of the shield.
Lena, your horses are well on
You
their
can
way,
feel the shield if you like.
and you arrive
You know,
back at
Cormick's
the
going to
barracks.
steal it off you as soon as you get anywhere near it.
All five of you are now back at the barracks.
Yeah, you can have your
Tarn,
shield. That's fine. I'll hand it over to you.
It's awesome.
Tarn Broodburn is
You've got 6
drilling a detachment of
blue
men
wolves.
in the courtyard.
Medium.
And you can see that there are 50 soldiers moving about, doing different exercises. When you guys arrive, Cormick has joined in and swinging around.
Sound about right?
And as he moves, you can see now that small gusts of wind move with his blade, move his clothes around him so that they don't get tangled on the various items on his body. And there's just something a bit more. He seems a bit more in tune with his powers.
I'm going to shoot him in the head with a sling.
Sorry to clarify, did
Do you want me to roll a dice for that?
did Borgren take the Child of War?
No,
You still got it?
Yeah, I'm still.
yeah, you
Yes,
still got it
still got it.
because you said
Yeah.
you wanted to take it with you
Yeah.
for the battle.
Yeah.
You can leave it with him if you want to,
Um,
so that he starts forging other things.
yeah, the plan was to leave it
Okay.
with him because I don't know if there's golems off that.
Sure, you leave it with him.
I don't think we want to
Because
do
I
that.
don't think that's the sort of thing you just want to be casually
Well-
strolling around with.
Sure.
The other thing is that surely if they know we got it, there's some party of dudes that's going to turn up and go, well, we'll have that.
Can I ask
Maybe.
Borgren to look after
Like Collectors Guild rock up or
Yeah,
something.
Can I ask
yeah.
Borgren to look after it for me until I need it
Yes.
for war?
Yeah.
I'm sure he won't mind having a massive holy
Well,
relic.
didn't you kind of gift it to the church to which it belongs?
Well, I mean, I'm not claiming it's mine. It's
Yeah.
just
Sure.
I'm going to be using it against
Yeah.
bad things.
Did I just get shot in the head?
Well, I'm waiting
Someone-
to roll my dice.
Roll a dice then. Come on.
No.
No, that's
So,
I've got luck. I'm using my luck.
Oh,
No, I really like span
A slingshot goes past you, and you look across and you see a cheeky grin on Poot's face.
How far away is he from me?
mage
About
hand.
14 feet.
Slap him in the face.
I'm going to
Because you're in
use.
a courtyard, you come into
Yeah,
the courtyard,
yeah,
you can kind of.
I'm literally just going to use my mage hand to slap him in the face.
Okay, you get a polite slap. It doesn't do any damage.
it's a mage
hand, so you just get a little cut around the
That's
face.
okay.
Okay. Saint arrives back as well, and you can see that the Aurelian is no longer carrying the Shard of War, which he's been hugging for the last day or so, even though it's wrapped up. But there seems to be now some new shield and sword in their possession.
And I go, shield. You know the seagulls going mine, shield, 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 shield. What's that? How big is
I
it?
will
Remember, the book on forging.
That's with them, not us.
Oh, they got that now.
We left it with the
I didn't
Smiths.
know if you got it back on Cormick.
Oh no, I was just reading it.
I've given it to the best Smith.
Yeah, the best smith in the castle,
Yeah.
Castle Brooklyn.
And
Steve.
Steve. That was it was Steve.
basically walk around with the bag and hand out a blue crystal to everyone.
Oh, there you go. Everyone gets a blue orb.
Blue orb.
These have 3 uses, and each use would heal 3d6 hit points.
Wow.
Or, if used against a risen or a fallen, inflict 3d6 damage on a successful hit. If you miss with them,
You die.
you roll again.
Apparently I
and on
had
a
one
1
of
it
those
breaks.
already.
Well, there you go.
You're missing.
And shield.
Shield?
Shield.
So you don't.
I will
Yeah.
pass to him, and basically, when I hand it over and he grabs it, I'm going to not let go. This is an artifact of the Temple of Usion. They will get this back.
Sure. Yeah. definitely.
Shield,
Shield.
8
Shield.
piece.
On your own.
Can I try it first?
I'm
Yeah,
not
what
going to
was
let
it?
it go. I'm just going to look at you.
What happens if it's actually like really shit?
I said, okay, fine. Council.
It's a small round metal shield.
Yeah.
With kind of a swirling pattern of green tillium within it.
Yeah, I'll hand it to him after he swears that he'll return it.
Yeah, I swear, but like really, just like, oh yeah, I promise. But you
No,
know,
on
like,
your oath.
yeah, like it's my oath, but it's the real just going through the motions.
Right.
Yeah, and
Make
then go and try it out.
So you're going, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Give me the shield. Yeah, give us the shield.
Deception.
Give me the shield.
Deception, sorry. Make an insight roll.
I've got 4.
Much more than that.
No, I mean it. Like I'm just like.
I bet the way you say it, it's like, yeah. Okay.
So 16. He means
Whatever.
Yeah.
You.
Okay. It's very light. Very light.
Ooh. Can I jump around with it when everything goes sparring again?
Jumping around.
No, with the like
right.
50
Alright,
soldiers and
make
everything.
Yes, yeah, you can carry on with that.
Yeah, I'm going
I've got a shield.
Okay, who's got the sword?
Sorry.
Who's got the sword?
I'm holding it.
Okay.
Can I test it out? So I'm obviously more used to hammers and blades.
Okay, you pull it out of the scabbard that it comes with, which is an extra wide scabbard because the blade
Is
is
jaggedy.
thick and jaggedy. And you pull it out, and as you do, lightning energy crackles along the blade of it.
It's a light.
I'm looking at it going, oh.
It's a lightsaber.
Now
Right,
let's find
that's
someone
It's a
with
big
a
dirty rock. It's a big dirty rock sword.
Just like, so what? Literally like lightning.
No, it doesn't like light up, but just as where it's pulling
So
out
sparks.
against the thing, like sparks.
Oh, it's not
Yeah.
It's not like on like it's
So
not
it's
like
not like
lightning. No, it's like as you pull it out, and you're like, whoa. Like,
Whoever wields
Friction.
the
Stand
sword.
I'm watching this.
Should he be willing?
maybe when you
to
hit
possess
things,
the
it
power
might
of your
spark
sword.
with electricity.
Just
So,
like, that looks expensive.
Except again, it's another relic of Usion.
Ooh. Can I borrow it for an hour?
No.
May I suggest I borrow it for an hour? I will. You can sit there and watch me for an hour with it if you wish.
Why?
Because
Yeah.
I'll show you the rulebook. I don't know how to describe it in character.
What is it?
Weapon bond.
I've got my weapon bond.
He can mystically summon a weapon that he spends some time with.
I can
Okay.
Clever girl.
up to 2 weapons. I can
Obviously, you're not saying this out loud to Aurelian because you want to bond with this sword, so you can.
Oh,
in the middle of the fight, go,
bond with the sword.
and Aurelian's like.
No, I'll tell him. Like I trust him. Say that I can do this, and I'll show him because I've got both swords with me. They're at my short sword. I can show. I'll throw the sword away.
Yep.
And then use my
And
bonus action to have it just back in my hand.
And a small zephyr of air whips around his sword and kind of consumes it, and then it appears from his hand, and a gust of wind blows away.
So basically, you can't.
Evaporated.
Very well. I will shoot it. And it's
Take it, and then with that and my Tillium short sword, I'll go and sit and bond for an hour.
So
This hasn't gone well.
What's
for me.
Cormick doing?
Yeah,
Coming to
Cormick's
small
gone
boys,
creepy.
come on an adventure
wait.
with me.
I'm the creep.
James the Schlag.
Listen, everyone, I'm going to go and bond with my sword.
I'm going to go and bond with
So the
I'm going to
green
bond
here
with
with the
another
light
man's sword.
Wait, and the red is the sharp.
I
Yes.
can make it come to
That's what the red with the light one, the green with the
Well, they both have similar properties, but
His sword
red
will
is
never
more
reject
hard
me.
wearing,
Okay,
and green is generally.
Mm-hmm.
I need to go speak to the main blacksmith chap who we left the book with.
Yes.
And I'm going to go and explain to him that the Shard of War, which can be used to power the forge, is at the Temple of Usion.
Right.
Not that anyone else can actually use
High
it
beard.
without being consumed.
Well, what's
Well,
his face?
no.
Hope probably can.
Is he going to try it? Is he going to risk it?
You look over at the temple. There's big red lines of fire.
The Holger and Highbeard will be arranging someone to in charge.
No shit.
So if I
Basically, he'll be
I'll be
arranging
ready.
someone to in charge.
I'll be ready.
So
You told them about me, didn't you, Steve the blacksmith?
I did tell them
Yeah.
that I'm assuming I would have mentioned the name. I did say the Smiths at
Yeah.
the castle.
Yeah. I mean, I'm Chief Steve. I'm the top smith here.
Yeah, they know.
Okay.
So you'll be able to forge Vertilian weapons there.
You have fulfilled my dream.
Don't fuck this up,
Thank you.
Just make you. I have
May
utter
Simon be
faith.
with you. He bows down in front of you.
I have utter faith that you will make these the finest weapons you will ever craft,
I won't let you down.
and I'm sure they will bless you before you craft such a weapon.
I hope so. Oh, it goes off. Guys! It's like really excited. Let's go back into my round all night.
This is your moment, Steve.
Absolutely.
Don't fuck it up. What's going on, Steve?
Okay, cool. Right, so you're all rested because no one's done anything crazy over the day, so you're all rested for the day. All gathered at the barracks. You've all had a good rest. You have recovered all your hit points
Yay.
and half of your hit dice.
I haven't used
I
any.
ain't used any.
Okay,
So I recover half of nothing, which is nothing.
it is. Right, and Tarn Brickburn says to you, very well, and we can set out tonight if you wish.
Yes.
Yes?
Yes. As soon as we can.
Very well.
Yeah, as long as it's been an hour. Otherwise, my
It's been more than an hour yet.
then that's fine.
Okay, I will have the detachment move to the Aeromancer station. If you gather your things and meet us there, then we shall be on our way. Excellent. Yes, he seems to be slightly perturbed, but maybe it's just the scale of what you're about to head off towards.
I'm going to try and encourage him.
We're doomed!
I say to him,
I say unto ye,
I say to you, don't worry so much.
be happy.
Be happy.
My
I am.
wife used to say the same thing to me. He says as he turns around and walks off.
She's dead, isn't she?
Oh, shit.
Our companions, our NPC companions.
That we're travelling back separately.
Yes,
They will be a few days before we get back.
that's cool.
Bernard's killed them all.
No, Bernard hasn't.
And the horses.
Bernard's
And
actually
we've got to find Bernard.
Bernard's a golem.
He's got a really cool head torch.
Okay, so if I remember, you guys are going to head on the Aeromancer carriage
Yep.
to High Star and stop there to see what was going on, check what was going on, and then head on to Leron's pit.
And then the detachment, when we get there, are meant to
Secure the area.
hang around the
Great spears.
great spears to make sure they don't interfere.
Okay. So, you make your way to the Aeromancer station, up the fine staircase. It's evening now, but the market's still in full throng. Lots of entertainers moved into the area as well. And as had been arranged, you have your own Aeromancer carriage to take the detachment and yourselves along the Golem Road to High Star. and you make your way onto your carriage.
Can I go and find out if it's Gren?
It is not Gren.
Oh.
No.
Yes,
There is a woman sitting cross-legged on the deck, and there are some guards around her. And she turns to look at you over the balustrade. Kind of.
I use my mage hand to wave.
Okay. Oh.
Isn't it invisible?
No.
No.
Silent.
Alright, okay.
Poot's mage hand is invisible.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's just like a little emote. Like,
Can I help you?
Just like no, I'm just very interested in air magic. I have my own.
Well,
I've
please
recently.
come up here and join me. My name is Sarah,
Oh, hi, Sarah.
and you are
Cormick, model.
Cormick Model.
Can I go in and should I
Are
sit
they
down?
Graining Downs models?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Heard of them? How?
No.
I mean, big family, but you know.
oh, yeah, it's got your name.
You got some red sea.
And she starts to prepare herself for casting her air magic. She says, "I feel that there is something amidst the ley line. There is something different."
Yes. How did your magic use the ley line? I mean, how?
Sometimes I use it to enable me to function for longer.
I would try and avoid that this time if you can. Just how are there guards and stuff around?
Yeah, there's like people around. They're there to protect her and the front of the carriage.
Yeah.
They're like archers and stuff as well, so they can look out, see if there's brigands and things, that kind of stuff.
I'm literally just going to tell that. We were just in looking at the ley line with what's his face? I can never remember his name. Andreas Brugman.
The Prima.
Yeah, and we saw.
You know Andreas Brugman.
I just take out a little seal. The seals.
Best mates.
Yeah. And we saw the ley line through his window. I don't know what it is. He's got this
She was very
seeing.
confused.
He's got this seeing window
Know nothing about window. Abu Char guides me
to
the
to
connection with ley lines.
Yeah, we saw the ley line, and we saw a string of corruption coming from the Leiron's pit, and this is what we and carriage, whatever number we were in, that's our
And
entire purpose.
me.
And you,
Well, am I not the one taking you there?
just like we're obviously going to High Star first, but
Very
yeah,
well.
yeah, I thought a better, if you were going to use a ley line for anything this time, I would not. I will be
Thank you
here.
for the warning.
I will be hold out and have a little blue file. If anything happens, I'll be here.
Thank you.
Yeah. These things stop prevent corruption. I don't know if they would recognise what they are. So.
She does. She seems to acknowledge it
Mhm.
as in what it is.
Yeah.
Do you have a spare one of those by any chance?
How generous am I feeling?
I don't know. How generous are you feeling?
Not
very. That was I think that was a 3, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I didn't roll it.
I'm your conscience now.
Also, we're going into
Yeah, just like no. I'll ask. My party has more. I'll ask if there is
Well, that's
if there is one.
if you can spare anything that might help in a
Mhm.
difficult situation, that would be appreciated. But I must prepare myself now. And she kind of closes her eyes and starts to draw arcane runes in the air in front of her in a light blue kind of
Starts to
scripture with her
meditate.
fingers.
I asked Lena to have a look at her bow. She's just handed it to me, and I'm going to say a little prayer to your scion
Mm-hmm.
and hand it back.
Skeptical
It's now
look.
a +1 bow
Thanks.
for the day.
Mm-hmm.
It will. I don't know if it will feel different to Lena.
There's a slight warmth to the wood. I knew as I said that. I knew! Anyway,
Thanks.
You should probably
the
give
tree derived material is warm to the
the
touch.
extra blue wool. We all got one, but
Got
not a
clammy
6.
hands. That's a good point. I'm going to go find Tom.
He's actually in your carriage,
Yeah.
waiting for you
Okay.
to arrive.
I will.
All the other guys are in the other carriages.
That's because
Um,
he's.
He's sitting there waxing his moustache.
Can't pull the man. from that.
Yeah, and then he puts away a small
I'm gonna walk up to my captain.
Aurelian.
Have you been given anything to defend yourselves against corruption?
And he pulls out a small life crystal. The Prima gave me this.
Good. Just wanted to make sure you're prepared. We have extras among us. We are all carrying them.
Excellent.
The Templar
I
Style
think
has provided us with additional.
There aren't many more of these things.
I'll just tell him, if one of your men is turned, if it's quick,
Like
there
those
is-
miners. you were
there is
talking
a,
about.
if it's turned and it's quick, there is a chance you can save him with the orb.
That's good to know.
And as I said, we are all of us are carrying one. So, should more be required, they are there.
Thank you.
For now.
Well, should we all? He sort of sticks his head out the window, looking at Cormick coming down the side. And
Oh, am I coming back?
Saint
I didn't-
loitering.
Right.
Should we all get aboard so we can start this journey?
I will tell them about the Aeromancer and that I told them about the corrupted ley line because they said that sometimes they use the ley line for a thing and they asked if they could have a life crystal. I said we didn't have any spare, but do we feel like we can spare one for considering they are in charge of getting us to our location, at least until we get there?
I think that would be a bad idea. I
Yeah.
think we're going to need them a lot more than they are.
Fair enough.
If the Risen get to the Airman's carriage, then it's probably all over. Frankly.
If they could drive it. Sure. No, just like I'm indifferent.
We will be here to get them there.
This is true.
The platform around you is suddenly engulfed in a howling wind, and it gusts along the sides of the carriages, banging the shutters briefly, rattling them against the sides of the structure. And you hear the great sails ahead of you unfurl, and you feel the carriage start to move away as the Aeromancer is using their air magic to power it along the Golem Road. And the carriage heads off into the night. The 5 of you in the carriage with Tom Broodburn, with your newly found weapons and gear and equipment, and your new quest that you're heading off on, heading to High Star to see what you can find, and then on to Leon's Pit. And I think we'll end that episode there.
And roll credits.
So hopefully you enjoyed that one. Thank you for watching. Please check us out on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, all those
Social media
things.
stuff.
Yes, all the stuff. Please like, comment, and subscribe. We've got links below to all of our other videos, and we'll see you soon. Bye bye.